So this is dated November 13th, 2023, which is exactly a week ago when we were all sitting here with the news that Donna was arrested. And this is prepared by Leon County Clerk of Courts. Well, it was probably prepared by Georgia or one of her staff members, and it was filed by the court clerk. So it's to the first appearance magistrate, and that would have been wherever she had her first appearance, and that was in this case Miami. The defendant, Donna Sue Adelson, charges first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, solicitation to commit first-degree murder. And the affidavit is basically what this is a summary of offense and probable cause affidavit. They need probable cause in order to do an arrest. So here we go. This affidavit sets forth probable cause to believe that Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera murdered Florida State University law professor Daniel Markel, and the murder was arranged through Catherine Magbanua, Charles Adelson, and Donna Adelson in violation of Florida statutes, murder per Chapter 782. On Friday, July 18th, 2014, at 11:02 a.m., a report of a shooting was received at 2116 Trescott Drive, the home of Florida State Law School professor Daniel Markel in Tallahassee, Florida. Upon arrival, Tallahassee police officers found Markel slumped over in the driver's seat of his vehicle from an apparent gunshot to the head. Markel was transported from the scene to a local hospital where he later died from the injuries sustained during the shooting. The investigation of the crime scene found no indication that this incident was part of any other criminal intent, such as burglary or robbery. A neighbor heard a loud bang and looked out his window, where he saw a small silver or light-colored vehicle resembling a Prius backing out of the victim's driveway. He walked over to check on Markel, discovered him in distress, and called 911. Investigators located the victim's ex-wife, Wendy Adelson, at a local restaurant and transported her to the Tallahassee Police Department for an interview. During the interview of Wendy Adelson, she made statements suggesting the murder of Markel could have been arranged by someone on her behalf, without her knowledge. Wendy indicated her parents were very angry at Markel and further suggested that someone could have arranged the murder thinking it would help her. She specifically mentioned that her brother, Charles, aka Charlie Adelson, joked about hiring a hitman to kill Markel in the past. She said her brother makes a lot of jokes in bad taste and previously commented that he looked into hiring a hitman, but it was cheaper to buy her a television as a divorce gift. Wendy indicated that she did not think her brother would actually commit this crime. It should be noted that Wendy's mother, Donna Adelson, set a television repair appointment on July 11th, 2014, for Wendy's television to be repaired on the morning of the homicide, July 18th, 2014. Records obtained from Best Buy show a service was completed on her television in the morning of July 18th, 2014, the same date of the homicide. Wendy stated that after the divorce, she wanted to relocate to South Florida with her children. She felt her former in-laws would suspect her of murdering their son since she was denied the ability to move by the court. Wendy filed for divorce on September 10th, 2012. The divorce was later finalized by MSA on July 31st, 2013. July 31st, 2013, Investigators reviewed voluminous documents, including emails, text messages, and court documents. The review determined Wendy Adelson and her brother, Charles, as well as their parents, Harvey and Donna Adelson, were determined to have Wendy and the two Markel children relocated to South Florida, where the Adelsons reside after her divorce from Markel. Markel objected to his ex-wife moving his children to South Florida, and on June 20th, 2013, Leon County Circuit Court Judge Hobbs, Leon County Circuit Judge Hobbs formally denied with prejudice Wendy's motion for relocation with the children. I am going to make a little short pause right here just to go over a couple of things that I noticed. Number one, when Detective Isom asked Wendy in her police interview, this is not in the document, this is me speaking, by the way, just making it clear. When Detective Isom was interviewing Wendy, he asked, would anyone do this? I mean, Wendy made it very clear that everyone she was trying to give them ideas, right? They were all doing it on her behalf. And so Isom asked her, would somebody do this without you knowing? And she said, no. In other words, she said she would know if it was done on her behalf. Well, now we know it was done on her behalf. Now, in this document, it says that she wouldn't know, but that is not what she said. Just, I have a clip from that. It's a little short. The other thing is, a lot of people ask about this, and it does say here in this document that they do have records from Best Buy about the service that was completed on July 18th, 2014. They didn't really need to have those for previous trials. So I don't know if that's new or if any new details will come out. But I thought that I took note of as well. And then there was one other thing. Go ahead.
I can't help but think that based on the breadcrumbs that Georgia was dropping, I think either they have they were able to retrieve, because I keep going back to, but if they've received or they were able to retrieve and go back to all the previous, text messages like that Charlie sent and whatnot back then, why not Wendy's? Why not Wendy's? I think they have something.
Right. Yeah, they have to. Okay, so I wasn't planning to interrupt, but just right off the bat, I noticed a few things, and especially that one thing. And once I'm done, I'll share the little quote of her and Isom in the comments underneath here, so you guys can hear what she actually said. He said nobody would do it. She said no one would do it without her knowing. In other words, she was showing that she was in control. She could say, well, I guess somebody would do it without my knowing, right? She said no. Okay, continuing on. By the way, chat away. Carla's here to help you in the chat until I'm free. After the court's denial, Wendy parents, especially her mother, Donna Adelson, repeatedly tried to convince Wendy to coerce Markel into allowing the relocation to South Florida. Donna suggested the family offer Markel $1 million to allow the relocation, with Donna Adelson and her husband Harvey Adelson contributing 1/3, Wendy Adelson contributing 1/3, and Charles Adelson contributing 1/3. Donna also suggested that Wendy threatened to convert Markel's children to Catholicism, knowing Markel was very observant in his Jewish faith and that the religious practices of the children were of utmost importance to Markel. Wendy Adelson's prior boyfriend, Jeff Lacasse, stated Wendy disclosed to him that Charles had seriously looked into hiring a hitman in the summer of 2013. And he was told it would cost either $15,000 or $50,000. Lacasse also reported that when he was visiting Charles Adelson with Wendy Adelson in the spring of 2013, Charlie Adelson bragged about being connected to a Cuban criminal element. It was learned that around the time of the murder, Catherine Magbanua was involved in a personal relationship with Charles Adelson. Meg Banawa's cellular telephone number was 786-564-1312. Call records show Meg Banawa as one of Charlie's top contacts, and text communications confirmed that the relationship was more than a friendship. It was later confirmed by Catherine Magbanawa. Charles Adelson enlisted Magbanawa, who then enlisted the father of her two children, Sigfredo Garcia, to carry out this murder. Garcia enlisted Rivera's assistants, and Magbanawa, Garcia, and Rivera were compensated for their actions. Magbanawa was the only link between Markel and the shooters, Garcia and Rivera. Magbanawa's only ties to Dan Markel are Charles Adelson and a couple instances where she met Wendy Adelson. The only way Magbanawa, Garcia, and Rivera knew of Daniel Markel and his relationship with the Adelson family was through Charles Adelson. While in the interview room, Wendy wanted to call her parents to notify them of the incident. While contemplating aloud as what she should say, she told the victim advocate sitting next to her that her parents were very angry with Markel and described it as a very effed up situation. Wendy then called and talked to her mother, Donna. After notifying Donna of the shooting, Wendy asked her to notify Charles of the shooting so Wendy would not have to do so. After Wendy's conversation with her mother, Donna Adelson called Charles's cell phone at 7:11 p.m., which went to voicemail. Charles then called Donna's cell phone at 7:13 p.m. with a call duration of 5 minutes and 47 seconds. At 7:29 p.m., Charles called Donna again with a duration of 6 minutes and 31 seconds. At 7:36 p.m., Charles called Catherine Magbanawa's cell phone with a duration of 2 minutes and 49 seconds. I'm going to take a sip. How we doing? How's my sound? Am I still cutting out?
No, you're good.
Okay. Even though I know this, it's still hard to read it. It's so sad. Wendy's parents, Harvey and Donna Adelson, made contact with the lead TPD investigator at Markel's memorial service on Sunday morning, July 20th, 2014 in Tallahassee. They agreed to contact the TPD investigator to arrange an interview before returning to South Florida. On the following day, the TPD investigator contacted Wendy on her cellular telephone. Once the investigator identified himself, Wendy claimed to have a bad connection and the call was terminated. Less than 5 minutes later, Wendy's attorney called the investigator and informed him that Wendy left town with her children and parents en route to South Florida. The attorney could not provide a date for Wendy's return to Tallahassee and requested he be contacted for any further inquiries. Harvey and Donna Adelson left Tallahassee with Wendy and the grandchildren the day after the memorial service without speaking to the investigator as promised. Since leaving, no one in the Adelson family contacted TPD or inquired about the status of the investigation. Charles Adelson did not attend the memorial service for his ex-brother-in-law. In July of 2015, Wendy had her children's surname changed from Markel to Adelson. By the way, I am going to interject one more thing here. In Charles' trial a couple of weeks ago, it was said, it was either in the trial or now I'm confusing whether it was a trial or 2020, but at one point it was said that the Ruth and Phil were able to see the boys after the memorial service at the home. But in Ruth's book, she wrote that she was trying very hard to see the boys. And then she called for the day that they left and was informed that they left. So it was very heartbreaking because she didn't get to spend time with those boys. And so that was misinformation. I think it was in 2020 that it was said that they saw the boys and spent time with them after the memorial service. They tried to, but they were denied even then. So sad. Okay, sorry, I had to interject. I can't help myself. Moving on, back to the document. On July 18th, 2014, Markel left his home that morning and drove his 2 children to daycare on the west side of Tallahassee. Markel drove to Premier Health and Fitness Center. Markel arrived at Premier, where surveillance video shows a silver or light green Toyota Prius enter the parking lot after Markel parked his car. After Markel went into the health club, the video captured the Prius in the parking lot where the driver moved the vehicle to 2 different parking positions while Markel was in the building. No individuals ever exited the Prius. Additional surveillance video discovered for the day of the homicide showed the same Prius before and after the homicide, including following Markel into Markel's neighborhood immediately prior to the shooting. After analyzing the surveillance videos, the suspect vehicle was determined to be a 2006 to 2009 Toyota Prius with a silver pine mica paint color. The Prius had tinted windows, a SunPass transponder on the top of the windshield, a missing tow hook cover on the front bumper, and a black passenger side mirror casing. It was determined the Prius followed the victim throughout the morning and back toward his residence where the shooting occurred. This suspect vehicle fit the description given by Markel's neighbor after he heard a gunshot and looked out the window and saw the Prius backing out of the victim's driveway. Florida Department of Transportation records for SunPass on Alligator Alley, I-75 west of Fort Lauderdale on July 16th and 18th, 2014 had one account listing a Prius as a customer vehicle. The SunPass transponder activity was consistent with cell site data for Rivera and Garcia's handsets travels. The transponder of interest in this case number is 115-257-060110 per FDOT records. The SunPass account using the above transponder is a rental company in North Miami, Florida. Law enforcement obtained the rental contract for a 2008 Toyota Prius on July 15, 2014, 3 days before the homicide. The customer is listed as Luis Rivera with a contact number of 305-570-8153 if you want to call. The second telephone number was also written on the rental contract, 786-372-5986. Garcia's phone with the word brother written beside the number. The rental contract indicates the Prius was checked out at 6:15 p.m. on July 15, 2014, and rented to Rivera through July 21st, 2014, 3 days after the homicide. The Prius rented by Luis Rivera on July 15, 2014 contained a GPS device installed by the owner to assist with theft or non-return. The GPS company records have the vehicle location on July 15, 2014 at 10:15 p.m. EDST at the parking lot of 7501 East Treasure Drive, North Bay Village, Florida. This was the location of Banawa's residence at that time. On July 18th, 2014, at 12:26 a.m. EDST, the vehicle was located at North Monroe Street and East 6th Avenue, Tallahassee, Florida. On July 19th, 2014, at 1:26 a.m. EDST, the vehicle was located behind 1505 Northeast 135th Street, North Miami, Florida. The address is the residence of Jessica Rodriguez, who was a girlfriend of and has a child with Rivera. Cellular location for data for Magbanua, Garcia, and Rivera is consistent with them being in the area of Magbanua's residence during and around the time the vehicle GPS showed its location to be in the parking lot of Magbanua's condominium. Both Garcia and Rivera met with Magbanua the night before departing for Tallahassee to commit the murder. Do you remember that, Carla, coming out? I think there was some
Yes.
talk of that. Okay. Yeah, because she claimed she didn't, just gave him the paper and she never saw, she didn't know Rivera was going. So that doesn't check out with this. Sorry, I had to interrupt again. I'll take a sip while
No,
I do
I think they very much knew.
I think so too. I forgot about that part. Analysis of Rivera's checking account revealed an ATM transaction took place in Broward County on July 18th, 2014 at 6:46 p.m. as they were returning to Miami from Tallahassee, Florida. Security video from the drive-through ATM lane shows Rivera driving a Toyota Prius up to the ATM at 6:45 p.m. As the Toyota Prius exits the ATM area at 6:47 p.m., a Florida license plate can be seen on the rear of the car, and the tag characters match those of the car rental contract. Cellular records show numerous contacts between Catherine Magbanua and both Charles Adelson and Sigfredo Garcia. On one occasion, telephone records show contact between Garcia's handset and a cellular telephone register to Harvey Adelson, Charles and Wendy Adelson's father, on July 1st, 2014. At approximately 11:47 a.m., Magbanua's telephone began attempting to contact Garcia's telephone. Over the next 5.5 hours, Magbanua attempted to contact Garcia 48 times. She wasn't triggered, was she? At 5:05 p.m., Magbanua made contact with Garcia, and they had a conversation lasting 6 minutes and 22 seconds. Approximately 9 minutes later, at 5:20 p.m., Garcia's cellular telephone attempted to contact Harvey's cellular telephone. The cellular records indicate this call went to voicemail. Telephone number 786-372-5986 was being used by Garcia prior to the murder and had been in contact with Magbanua's telephone number 786-564-1312 approximately 2,700 times between May 1st and July 19th, 2014, when Garcia's cellular phone ceased activity the day after the homicide. Telephone number 305-570-8153 belonged to Luis Rivera during the time leading up to Markel's murder. The following contacts took place the morning of July 18th, 2014. From 12 to 12:23 a.m., Rivera's and Garcia's handset communicated with cell sites in the area of the Roadway Inn on North Monroe Street, and that's Tallahassee. 12:01 a.m., Magbanua contacts Garcia. The call was over 1 minute. 12:07 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Magbanua. That call was over 7 minutes. 12:34 a.m., Magbanua contacts Charles Adelson for less than a minute. 1:02 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Donna Adelson. Ding, 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 ding. 1:03 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Magbanua, 20 minutes. 8:09 a.m., Donna Adelson contacts Wendy Adelson, 35 seconds. 8:50 a.m., Daniel Markel drops his children off of the Creative Preschool at 2746 West Tharp Street, Tallahassee, Florida. 9:02 a.m., Daniel Markel contacts Wendy Adelson, 1 minute. This is really heartbreaking for me. 9:12 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Wendy Adelson, less than a minute. 9:19 a.m., Wendy Adelson contacts Charles Adelson, over 18 minutes. 9:38 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Donna Adelson, 30 seconds. 9:58 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Meg Banawa, over 6 minutes. 10:07 a.m., Meg Banawa contacts Charles Adelson, over a minute. 10:08 a.m., Meg Banawa contacts Charles Adelson, 9 seconds. 10:09 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Meg Banawa, 6 minutes. 10:52 to 10:55 a.m., neighbors hear gunshot and sees small light-colored vehicle pulling out of Markel's driveway. 11 a.m., subject on the phone with Markel attempts to call Markel back. Call goes to voicemail. 11:01 a.m., subject texts Markel asking if he's okay. 11:02 a.m., Markel's neighbor calls 911. 11:06 a.m., Donna Adelson contacts Charles Adelson, either attempted call or text. 11:22 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Donna Adelson, 7 minutes. 11:30 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Meg Banawa, 30 seconds. 11:31 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Meg Banawa, 5 minutes. Ugh. In the morning of July 18th, 2014, Garcia's telephone ceased activity just before 10 a.m. while in the area of Premier Gym, with the last text message occurring at 10:58 a.m. The next event on Garcia's telephone was text messages and/or notifications being received at 12:29 p.m. Immediately afterward, at 12:30 p.m., Garcia placed a call to Meg Banawa, which was the first contact initiated by Garcia after the homicide. This call occurred when Garcia's phone was in the area of Lake City, Florida, or on or near I-75, approximately 1.5 hours after the shooting was reported. Approximately 2 hours after Garcia and Rivera arrived back in Miami, Meg Banawa departed her residence and went to Rivera's residence while attempting to contact Garcia telephonically. While Meg Banawa, Garcia, and Rivera were together, Meg Banawa had telephonic contact with Charles Adelson. Meg Banawa traveled north to Charles Adelson's residence, where she would remain until the following morning. Meg Banawa stated while at Charles Adelson's residence, Charles Adelson was armed and acting frantic. Charles told his mother and father Charles told her his mother and father had just left his residence and had left money that his mom had washed. At Adelson's trial, Meg Banawa testified that the money she received was damp and moldy, consistent with being physically washed, and was stapled into $1,000 stacks. Meg Banawa took a Xanax that was provided by Adelson, and fell asleep. The next morning, July 19th, 2014, at 9:44 a.m., Meg Banawa left the residence and was told by Adelson that the money was in the trunk of her car. So there's a little bit of conflicting information there too, but communication records in Charles Adelson's iCloud show Donna Adelson telling Charles Adelson she was outside your house approximately 8:59 p.m. on July 18th, 2014. Can I read that again? It just didn't go in my head right. Communication records in Charles Adelson's iCloud showed Donna Adelson telling Charles Adelson she was outside your house. Okay, got it. At approximately 8:59 p.m. on July 18th, 2014. Sorry about that. Cellular records for Donna Adelson and Harvey Adelson show an arrival time of 1:25 a.m. in Orlando, Florida, leaving an approximate hour and a half time block consistent with her being at Charlie's residence. Donna and Harvey Adelson traveled to Orlando for the evening and then on to Tallahassee the following morning. Prior to the homicide, Meg Banawa was employed at a Miami area dental office. Investigation revealed that after the homicide occurred in July 2014, Meg Banawa started receiving paychecks from the Adelson Institute for Aesthetics and Implant Dentistry, which were handwritten and signed by Donna Adelson. These paychecks started in September of 2014 and were consistently in the amount of $407.58, which she received every 2 weeks. The memo section of each check indicated it was for a period of 10 days, usually preceding the date of the check. The checks continued until at least through April 2016. On at least 2 different occasions, Meg Banawa received paychecks in advance of the time period indicated on the check and frequently received sequential checks. Meg Banawa received a significant amount of cash after Markel's murder. In the month following the murder, Meg Banawa deposited over $13,000 cash. In the 6 weeks following the homicide, she deposited more cash than she did the entire year leading up to the homicide. These numerous deposits were conducted mostly through ATMs in increments of $300 to $2,000. From the homicide through November of 2015, the total amount of cash that investigators identified deposited into Meg Banawa's accounts is over $56,000. This amount is over and above the paychecks she had received. The investigation revealed that Meg Banawa did not work at the Adelson Institute. Meg Banawa was also in possession of and operating a 2001 Lexus LS 430 sedan automobile, which was registered to Harvey Adelson and previously used by Charles Adelson. On July 2016, the title for his car was transferred to Meg Banawa, and a new license plate was obtained for Meg Banawa's name. Motor vehicle records indicate the vehicle was sold to Meg Banawa for the price of $1,700. In addition, Meg Banawa received cash and numerous gifts from Charles Adelson since Markel's murder. I'll just take another sip here. How are we doing in the chat? Everybody good? Hi, Ellen's still here. Hi, Go Georgia. Hey, okay. Just take one more sip here. Okay. I left off at a review of their financial records indicated that Charles Adelson and Donna Adelson had the financial means to finance this murder and provide ongoing compensation to Meg Banawa. On April 19th, 2016, an undercover agent made contact with Donna Adelson in reference to Markel's murder. The undercover agent provided a press release of Markel's murder, asked for $5,000, and provided a phone number at which he could be contacted. As a result of this contact, conversations were intercepted. Call 1380, number 1380. Donna Adelson's call to Charles Adelson asking him to meet her about some paperwork that was hand-delivered to her outside her condominium. The Icon in South Beach was intercepted. During this conversation, when Charles inquired whether it involved him or others, Donna responded in a whisper, "Well, probably the both of us." When Charles asked her to repeat herself, she said, "Probably the two of us, and you probably have a general idea what I'm talking about." When Charles inquired further, Donna said this was not something she wants to discuss over the phone. Call 1382. Donna and Charles discussed meeting and whether or not Charles needed to bring cash. Charles inquired whether or not a threat was involved and whether the police should be contacted. Donna responded that at this time she did not believe that was a good idea. Call 1386. Charles Adelson called and immediately told his mother, Donna Adelson, don't talk about things in the apartment or any place. He then asked if the person was black, white, or Hispanic, to which Donna said he was white. Charles said it sounds like something that needs the police. Donna said she may have to, but she wants to talk to him first. When Charles asked what the letter asked for, Donna said, this TV is probably about 5. Charles asked if they asked for $5,000, to which Donna responded affirmatively. Donna also said they mentioned an ex-girlfriend. I wonder who that would be. Call 1392. I've got to behave. I need to just read from the paper, Dawn. Call 1392. Charles Adelson called Catherine Magbanua after trying to reach her by phone unsuccessfully for about an hour. Charles explained the situation to Magbanua as he understood it from his mother. Something regarding her son, something regarding his ex-girlfriend, and the person asking for some money. Charles tells Magbanua that he is going to see his mom the next day to discuss the matter. There is some discussion of whether Magbanua is the girlfriend referenced by the agent. Charles said he thought his mother said the agent mentioned Magbanua's name, but he is not sure, and he would follow up with her if the situation does involve her. Magbanua agrees to meet Charles in person the next day, April 20th, 2016, around 4 p.m. Charles never contacted any other females to discuss the contact between his mother and the undercover agent. The morning of April 20th, 2016, Charles told his mother he would meet her at home at 12:35 p.m. After Charles arrived at the Icon where his mother and father reside, he and Donna walked outside to a remote table behind the building and sat close together while conversing. None of their conversation was successfully captured. After meeting with Donna in person, he called Magbanua and traveled to her in Sunny Isle at the real estate office where she worked. When Charles arrived at the strip mall where Magbanua worked, they talked briefly outside, then went into a restaurant, Dolce Vita, near the real estate office. Their conversation was captured while they sat in the restaurant. The following statements Charles made directly to Magbanua were previously only audible with use of proprietary software. Through the use of an expert, the audio conversation between Magbanua and Charles was clarified. The following are portions of this conversation. Number 1, if they had any evidence, we would have already gone to the airport. The problem is, even if they bugged this, even if they bugged your home phone, but even if they had bugged your phone, okay. But even if they had bugged your phone, okay, you're still not talking about any of this. I could just hear Charles. Number 2, so my point is, how do you get people to talk? You throw in a smoke grenade and then you get all the cockroaches to run out. There's smoke in the house. There's smoke in the house, and everyone's running and everyone's talking, and you throw a smoke grenade. What do you think? Wow. Number 3, they may have approached my mom because my dad may be someone who is carrying a gun. You never know if someone's, you don't want it to turn into an effing shootout, And I can tell you, a lot of times I carry on me. I mean, someone comes up to me you carrying on you right now? This is Katie. I mean, I'm going to start carrying one on my back, like, a holster that fits in your shirt. If someone comes up to me, they better be ready to shoot because I'm about to. I'm going to shoot them. Shoot them, not them. Someone comes up to me asking for money right now. Yeah, and guess what? When the effing police show up and there's a doctor, there's an oral surgeon standing there with a dead gang member in the effing driveway, they're not going to come down too hard on me, and I'm not going to talk anyway. I don't know much. I don't trust them. Number 4, Katie, this is not like some chick showing off tattoos to your man. This is happening, and it is serious because these people are going to come back. They didn't go through the trouble of seeking my mom out to hand her that and then go away. So I got 2 options. They're not going away. May wish they'd go away and never come back, but they ain't going away. The trouble they went through. I don't remember that part. Number 5, no, it's very simple. Like, if you're going to charge me, charge me. Number 6, what I'm saying is that this person is not going away. They came in very equipped with details. Where did the details come from? I don't know the details. Number 7, 2, they said the guy's name was 2O. I don't even know who the F that it is. Is there just 2O? KM Supply's name. Tudo's incarcerated now. And I know you've been helping out Katie and helping your family and helping out Katie and her family. Now Tudo's family needs your help. My mom was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he goes, well, maybe this will refresh your memory. And he handed it to her. Katie is talking. And he said, respect, spoke like polite. She goes, polite and well-spoken. I said, did he act like a thug, or did he have a talk with a thick Spanish accent or anything? She said, no. I said, was he white or Hispanic? She said he was white, but he could have been Hispanic. But and this is Katie talking now. Yeah, could have mistakes. I mean, everybody in Miami is Hispanic, so it's like you can't tell. Number 8. So Katie, they'll be back. These people know about, whoever it is knows information. Number 9. Let me ask a question. When everybody was there the next day, did any of you take any money? It's not like you were driving around in a Bentley, cruising around in a mega yacht. Some money must at some point, but otherwise he'd have no idea that I had anything to do with. By the way, does he not know what megawatts cost? Because he certainly wasn't paying her enough to buy a megawatt. But okay, I digress. Number 10, it could. I wish it was a cop playing games. Why didn't they know it was me? If it was a cop playing games or an investigator playing games and they didn't mention me, they didn't mention your son's girlfriend, Katie. He didn't mean, they didn't mention your son's, meaning Donna, girlfriend Katie, not mention me at all and my family. And I think if they thought I had something to do with it, they would find me and they would talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, go talk to the person who's involved, not people who weren't involved. Number 11. I forgot how much was in there. Number 11, and I'm not involved. But if they knew your relationship with me is with me, not my family, like I dated you, not my mom. They knew my dad's name. This person obviously doesn't even know that we dated. That's the direct connection, is who was her boyfriend, the 71-year-old guy, Dr. Adelson, or the 37-year-old Dr. Adelson. Yeah, 37. Let's go talk to him, Dr. Adelson. That's who they'd talk to, not waste your time with mom. They needed to talk to someone who knew what the F went down. And so wouldn't it make sense that your connection to my family is me? Well, they did say your girlfriend. His I thought they said the undercover FBI guy said his girlfriend. Okay, 12. Your connection to my family is not my mom. Like, yeah, you work for the office now because the checks are from there, and that's just because you come in and work on the weekends, which I trust that you're doing because I'm never there when I see you. How does that even make sense? I'm never there when I see you. You tell me you don't do it and the place looks clean, so you get your checks. You clean up, whatever, but that's neither here nor there. This person knows information, and even if they are cops, that information said your name. And they also know that they're claiming that somebody who had something to do with it is incarcerated. I don't know anybody in jail. Katie says him. Number 13, Katie says him. Number 14, this is what I want you to do. I want you to call up this person and say that I got a call from some friends of mine who say that you reached out to them and that you mentioned my name. And remember, protect your name recently. So what you're going to say is, I got a call from some friends of mine who said that you had reached out and that you had mentioned my name. These people want to go to the police because they had nothing to do with what you're talking about, okay? And frankly, I don't know what you're talking about, but the name sounds familiar of who's incarcerated. So I'm going to give you something as charity to help the less fortunate. But do not contact these people again, or they're going to the police. And let them know that you had to do everything in the world to prevent these people from going to the police because they didn't know anything. And I don't know anything. And that the name sounds a little familiar, and that I'm going to help you out with some charity. And don't ever contact me, my friends, or my family again, or we'll go to the police. This is so funny. Number 15. I mean, Katie, I'll go to the moon and back for you. That's without even saying, I don't need to say that. Katie says, but that's what, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Katie, help me out. Help me out. Like, you know it. You don't even have to. I know you have. Oh, okay. This is going back and forth. This is Charlie again. Like, you know it. I don't have to. I don't have to sit here and tell you what I would do. I could show you what I could do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how I am. I'll look for things to do. You don't ask me for squat. I'm the one that's like, "Hey, Noah's birthday is coming. I got you." I'm the one who's like, anything I can, I don't ask you, just I'm the one who's like, "Hey, I'll sell you the Lexus for a very good price. I know you're having car problems." You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the one who I don't have to. I don't have to tell you. I show you there's a difference. Sheesh. I think my IQ just dropped from reading that. Number 16. I know my head was, when I was leaving the house, I literally had the bag out and I had it with my car keys. I know, well, if you want, you guys can swing by my house later. So what are we doing? Katie is talking. I want you to take it back, write the number down, and I'm going to give you the cash. And I want you to talk to 712. What? 6570. Okay. That was, how's everyone doing out there? Is everyone good? After the in-person meeting with Meg Banawa, Charles called Donna back to report about his meeting, and he said he is handling everything. Donna then called Charles back, sounding very concerned. On April 21st, 2016, calls were intercepted between Meg Banawa and Charles, and they attempt to disguise their conversation using real estate references such as security, property posted incorrectly, and wrong tenants for rental property. Charles and his dad, Harvey, met for dinner later that evening. In walks Harvey. Meg Banawa and Garcia were intercepted having numerous conversations over the phone. The morning of April 21st, 2016, it appeared Meg Banawa was trying to convince Garcia to figure out who the phone number belonged to and place the call himself. In a heated exchange, Garcia said, "I'm not making that effing phone call." He later said, "I'm going to take care of this effing problem. Call 825. So this is interesting. I didn't think Sigfredo had it in him to to stand up to Katie and to actually be smart enough not to make that call. And I know this isn't new. There's so much to it. Some of this is starting to come back, at different levels in my brain. So on Monday, April 25th, 2016, a letter was sent to Harvey and Donna Adelson. This letter was sent by USPS by investigators for the purpose of follow-up from the undercover's initial conversation. Calls intercepted indicate Donna shared the information with Charles, who in turn forwarded to Meg Banawa. Meg Banawa again asked Garcia to either determine who the phone number belonged to or call the phone number. Meg Banawa reported to Charles the phone was either out of service or not a good number. It appeared Garcia lied to Meg Banawa about making the call or had not called the correct number. The agent's phone was not called and was working properly after conducting tests to verify. Later the same date, Charles called Meg Banawa and asked if she was on her way. It appeared Charles and Meg Banawa had been communicating through a different source to schedule a meeting. Later review of iCloud messages from Charles' records indicate he and Meg Banawa would often communicate via WhatsApp, a phone application that allows for secure communication not retrieved in a cellular record. Charles directed her to Harvey and Donna's building to meet with them. Charles told Meg Banawa that he was talking to his parents about everything. Parents, plural, everything. Charles continued to try and convince her to meet at Donna and Harvey's building. This is the part I remember Meg Banawa talking about recently in her proffer. But eventually agreed to meet with her at another location because in Catherine's proffer, she said she didn't want to go to their place, to Harvey and Donna's. Meg Banawa called Charles back, who advised they are meeting at a marina near Monty's. On April 26, 2016, Charles called Donna and they discussed the conversation that occurred the night prior. Donna said she felt better after their conversation. Donna asked Charles to let her know once things are taken care of. Call 1948. He further stated that if you don't know who the person is, it's a much bigger problem. Charles said, if you know who it is, it's very, very easy. Charles told Donna to stop getting worked up about things. Charles assured Donna that there was nothing she needed to worry about and that it was being looked into. Wonder if she's made it to the Tallahassee location yet. Nothing to worry about at all, Donna. On May 4th, 2016, at approximately 2:09 a.m., a text message was sent to Donna's cell phone from an undercover agent. Later in the day, Charles asked Donna if she was okay, and Donna advised she would talk to Charles about it on Sunday. Charles wanted to talk to Donna before Sunday, and they agreed to Charles coming by around 11:30 a.m. the following day, May 5th, 2016. While driving to meet with Donna, Charles called Meg Banawa, advising there was a new problem and he may need to meet with her later that day. On May 5th, 2016, Charles arrives at the Icon and they agree to meet at the pool area to discuss the text message. This time, Harvey is present with Charles and Donna as they huddled at the corner a corner area for privacy. There was no oral intercept captured due to the location they had the conversation. After the meeting, Charles left the Icon and called Meg Banawa, KM Call 2016, asking her how someone would get his mother's number. Meg Banawa told Charles it's possible to locate the phone number online. Charles used specific phrases sent via the text message. So it sounds like it's a little more code that they're saying. He's talking in code again. Charles called Donna and they discussed paying the $5,000. Charles advised the sooner they pay the money, the better. They discussed being nice but firm when the money is paid so the person knows that it's only a one-time payment. Because gosh, we have to do this on a budget. On Friday, May 16th, 2016 at 5:03 p.m., Donna successfully contacted the agent by calling his phone number. 305-712-6570. The total duration of the call was 8 minutes and 48 seconds. The call was recorded by the FBI. In summary, Donna made the excuse her grandchildren had possession of her phone, so she didn't know he had called. Donna went over the previous contacts between herself and the agent. She said she took him seriously and she was stressed out. She claimed she asked friends what she should do. She denied knowing anything referenced by the agent concerning help provided to her by the agent's friend, Rivera. She then brought up the reward offered and suggested he seek that out instead. The agent reminded her all he asked for was $5,000. Donna claimed she had nothing to do with the death of her ex-son-in-law and that she was left out of the loop. I don't remember that she was left out of the loop. So there was a loop. So if she's been left out of the loop, she's acknowledging there's a loop. The agent reminded her the problem was not going away, and she did know Meg Banawa and what was done for her. Donna continued to deny knowledge and ended the conversation by saying she'll call the agent back. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break here. I just want to have some human contact. Hi, Helen. Oh, how are you doing, Carl? Is this interesting to you guys?
There's like that right there, the loop. So
Yeah.
there is a connection then, so
Yeah. TSP, hey.
yeah, society
Always-
page, I agree, me too.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'm out of the loop. Okay.
And what's also interesting is she's consulted with her friends. So, really? So you're telling your friends, it's like, Dawn, I'm going to call you out of the blue and say, the strangest thing just happened to me. What are your thoughts about this? Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
Yeah, it's just like, didn't she say like 11 or 12 of her friends at one point?
Yeah,
I thought that
she gave like some weird
number.
I've talked to 12 or 13 people. What?
No, she had a conference.
Yeah, she you know what? She was in one of the chats that we're in, you guys. And so she was asking opinions of people.
Didn't the society page, did you do a meme about there or video? Hi, Jason. Hi, Helen. Hi, everyone. I think society page did something on that one. It's pretty funny. Okay.
I've got to watch it. I haven't been through all the videos. I'm telling you, work sometimes gets in the way of life.
You guys, there's just been so much content, though. I mean, it's hard to keep up with everything at this point. So it's really hard. I finally watched that 2020 thing. I don't know why I did, but I was like late last night. I did.
What did you think about it?
It was okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
what I said too.
I didn't have the need to, it just kind of came up at I don't know, yesterday was football. Yeah. So it came up after football on Peacock. So I was like, oh yeah, I really need to watch this. Okay. We are on page 11 of 24.
Do you want me to read to give you a break?
I'm okay. Would you like to read?
Or it's totally up to you. I'm okay with reading. If you want to keep going, it's whatever you want to do.
My throat feels okay. I did take the the medicine before I started, and I'm drinking Gatorade, and I do have some whiskey here. I think I'm going to move to that one next. Okay, here we go. Back to it. I'm just hoping. I just looked at my phone too to see if we got a notification about her arriving yet in Tallahassee, but there's nothing. I do not love that it says she's not in custody. That really made me nervous. Okay, call, because I don't remember being worded like that, but I don't know that. I
talk about shock value.
I was like, what? Did they release her, or did she do herself in? Like, did she go to the hospital? Or she could have gone to the hospital, but she would still be in custody, I would think. But anyway, Okay, call 3290, May 7th, 2016 at 5:07 p.m. Charles told May Banawa about a new CD he wanted her to listen to, indicating that he had a recording of the call between Donna and the agent. Charles used the reference "Potbelly Pigs Police," to which Meg Banawa responded, "That's not good." On May 15th, and that was new to me on this trial. I don't remember that at this trial, this recent trial that just happened, the Potbelly Pigs thing. On May 25th, 2014, Sigfredo, I think it's 2016, there's a typo there. On May 25th, 2016, Sigfredo Garcia was arrested for his involvement in this case. On May 26, 2016, the electronic surveillance suggested that Charles Adelson and Catherine Meg Banawa were in close proximity to each other and may have met in the overnight early morning hours. So that was the day after he was Sigfredo was arrested. On June 28th, 2016, Luis Rivera was arrested for his involvement in this case. On September 30th, 2016, a proffer was conducted with Luis Rivera in the presence of his attorney. This proffer was not recorded. Rivera was sworn prior to any testimony. Rivera stated that he has known Sigfredo Garcia since childhood. Garcia told Rivera about a high-dollar robbery he wanted to do with Rivera in Tallahassee, Florida. The first time Rivera and Garcia traveled to Tallahassee was June 2014. Once they departed for Tallahassee in June 2014 was when Rivera learned that Garcia wanted him to commit a murder, not a robbery. Garcia promised Rivera $30,000 to commit the murder. While en route to Tallahassee, Garcia provided Rivera with more details explaining a woman with 2 kids wanted her ex-husband murdered so she could have full custody of the children in Miami. Garcia told Rivera the offer was presented to him by Catherine Meg Banawa and the total payment for the murder would be $100,000. Rivera suggested robbing the woman of the $100,000 instead of committing the murder. And I just want to say there's been a lot of chatter all along, but it came up and I can't remember what we were talking, what video on my page it was, but about the lady being Donna. Like a lot of people think the lady's Donna, not Wendy. But it is clear as day here what Rivera said during that first interview. Again, I'm going to read this again just to be clear. While en route to Tallahassee, Garcia promised Rivera $30,000 to commit the murder and provided him with more details explaining a woman with 2 kids, not grandkids. Number 1, wanted her ex-husband. It's not Donna if it's the ex-husband, okay? Murdered so she could have full custody of the children in Miami. So she was in Tallahassee. Donna was already in Miami. So this rules out at 3 different levels that
it was Donna.
The fuzziness about it, right? I think he does refer to the lady. I mean, it can be ambiguous, but when we do go through the proffer, which so many of you want to do, Luis's proffer from 2016 that was recorded, you'll hear with your own ears what he said. It's very clear. The 2 traveled, this makes me sad. The 2 traveled with a long barrel 38 Taurus revolver and a short barrel black 38 Smith & Wesson revolver. The 2 around the victim's residence and followed the victim's vehicle. Rivera recalled Garcia having a color printed photo of the victim with words printed on it. This is in the proffer. Rivera could not recall what was printed. They would only eventually park the car at Winthrop Park and wait for the victim to leave. Rivera would later show investigators where they parked and the routes they took to the victim's residence. They did do a drive-through. Luis with Isom and the Sanford from the FBI and his lawyer. Rivera indicated Garcia told him Magbanua approached Garcia with the offer of $100,000 to be divided amongst the three, $40,000 for Garcia, $35,000 for Rivera, and the remainder was for Magbanua. Garcia later offered $2,000 more to Rivera. After losing the victim and failing to complete the murder in June, the two decided to return to Miami. Approximately a month later, the two returned to Tallahassee to commit the murder. Rivera rented the Prius in his name. They arrived in Tallahassee in the early morning of July 17th, 2014. The same morning, July 17th, 2014, they drove to the victims' neighborhoods. This was the day before the murder. While driving around, Garcia involuntarily discharged the revolver through the floorboard of the Prius. Rivera noticed the car started losing power, and they learned Garcia shot a hole through the gas line. And they were able to repair the vehicle and continue traveling. A search warrant was issued in October 2016 for the Prius. The fuel line underneath the passenger side of the vehicle was spliced together, and the corresponding hole was located in the floorboard, consistent with the information provided by Rivera. The following morning, July 18, 2014, Rivera and Garcia traveled back to the area of the victim's residence where they observed the victim leaving the neighborhood. They followed the victim around as he dropped his kids off and went to Premier Gym. As they returned to the victim's residence, the victim turned off Thomasville Road prior to Benton Road. Rivera and Garcia traveled farther down to Benton and entered the neighborhood from the south. As they approached the victim's residence, the victim was pulling in the driveway in front of them. They pulled in behind the victim, and as he parked in the garage, Garcia exited the Prius and approached the driver's side door of the victim's car. Real quickly, actually. Garcia shot the victim twice in the head and then returned to the Prius, and the two left Tallahassee. They traveled north on Thomasville Road to I-10 to I-75, confirming the information previously discovered through electronic data. So Rivera was very truthful, and they were able to confirm things that he said. While driving back to South Florida, Garcia called Magbanua approximately 1 hour into the drive. Garcia told Magbanua, "It's done." Rivera explained he could hear Magbanua's voice as Garcia held the phone up to his ear. During the drive, Garcia asked Rivera to pull over near a bridge and waterway so Garcia could dispose of the firearm.
The law enforcement and justice system there in Tallahassee is very classy.
Carla, here. I'm going to mute you. Okay, sorry. I had to mute you. You can unmute when you're ready. I think you have Carla. Yeah. Okay. Where was I? Okay. So numerous attempts to locate this bridge in the waterway were unsuccessful. Upon returning to South Florida, Rivera and Garcia withdrew cash from the ATM in Pembroke Pines, where they were observed on the ATM security camera, then drove to Rivera's residence. The following morning, Rivera received a call from Magbanua. She told him if she wanted the money, he needed to tell her where to meet because she could not get a hold of Garcia. Rivera knew Garcia was at Stephanie Carmona's residence, so he called a friend. That's shrimp. Stephanie Carmona. So he called a friend, Anthony Ortiz, to go pick him up. While waiting to return home, Rivera received a call from his child's mother, Jessica Rodriguez, with whom he lived. Jessica told Rivera that Garcia and Magbanua were at their residence with a package for him. Rivera returned home. He observed Magbanua's white SUV in the driveway. As he entered the residence, he received a package from Magbanua and Garcia. Rivera did not want Jessica to know what was in the package. Rivera then left the residence with Garcia. Rivera described the packages as a stack of $100 bills stapled together. Excuse me.
And Don, very quickly, they never found the firearm, right? Because I believe that they took Luis and they were never able to retrieve it.
They made multiple attempts, but there are so many different waterways, and Luis wasn't super familiar with the area. Sure. I mean, is that something he might have been holding back on? I don't know. But he seems sincere. I remember seeing some video, even clips of that drive-through. I don't remember where they were. Probably on Mentor Lawyers page, I would guess. Okay. In July of 2018, contact was made with June Mchinda. Mchinda was a girlfriend of Charles Adelson at the time of the undercover operation, at which an FBI approached. Sorry, okay, I got confused with that. FBI agent approached Donna Adelson. Of relevance in her interview was her recollection of Charles Adelson having stapled money in a safe in his residence. June stated that she followed the case in the news, and when she heard about the stapled money, she found it odd because she remembers Charles keeping his in that way. June also testified that Charles Adelson was acting angry, agitated, and nervous around the time of the undercover operation and Magbanua's arrest. Adelson advised June that he gave Magbanua a car and financed a portion of her breast augmentation. June Mchinda also observed Donna Adelson to be stressed out during this time frame, and Donna Adelson made a statement to June Mchinda that she felt Dan Markel was haunting her from the grave. Now, I just want to say something here in light of this most recent trial. June has testified three separate times, and not during this trial, but the previous one. She said, in a way that only June can do it. She said there were stacks, and there was a staple, but when she said staple, it was almost inaudible. That's what the behavior panel would call fading facts. She was trying not to confirm, like she was trying to imply that she might have been mistaken or something like that. She was really trying not to be real clear, to offer some ambiguity about her previous statements about stapled money. She was like, there was a staple, but only she didn't see it was worse than that. And I just saw a clip of that. I can't remember why, but there's various ways that she was a little unclear, let's put it that way. And I was a little surprised at her appearance on 2020. She seemed much more clear about how she felt about Charlie's involvement. And one thing she did say is she didn't want her to be the one convicting him. Well, obviously she's not convicting him. She's not on the jury. She's not a prosecutor. But in other words, what difference does it make if you have facts that are important to this case and somebody was murdered? Wouldn't you want to just give the fact? You're not convicting him. So she still has her emotions really entangled, but she did seem a little clearer on the 2020 show. Yeah.
But I think that was as a result of the backlash that because she's online, she checks, what people are saying about her. And so when they came knocking on her door, I mean, it's 2020, one of the biggest platforms, and she knows that. So I think she changed her tune because of who came calling, because of the backslash, the backlash that she received from the trial.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
There we go. She might have saw a staple.
I might have saw a staple. It was just crazy. Yep. Hi, everyone. How am I doing so far?
Good.
Okay, so we're on page 13. It's quite a story, even though I know it, it's still interesting to
know.
me. It's like reading a short story here. Okay. Dan Markel was haunting her from the grave. In July 2021, contact was made with Ryan Fitzpatrick. During the interview with Fitzpatrick, it was learned the two had a falling out in recent years over financial disagreements. He said Charles' entire demeanor changed when Magbanua was arrested. So he confirmed the same thing that June just said. Adelson started putting up security cameras and was constantly paranoid of arrest. During a conversation with Fitzpatrick, Charles Adelson said, "You can get away with murder if you keep your mouth shut." Fitzpatrick also stated he knows Charles staples his money together because he has received money from him in that manner. Fitzpatrick said Charles staples his money in $1,000 increments. In October 2019, Garcia was tried and convicted. He was sentenced to life in prison. In April 2022, after the clarified audio recording from Dolce Vita revealed Charles Adelson making additional incriminating statements, he was arrested for first-degree murder, solicitation to commit first-degree murder, and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. In May 2022, Catherine Magbanua was retried, and convicted. She was sentenced to life in prison. In October 2022 and November 2022, the proffers previously mentioned were conducted with Catherine Magbanua. And I was thinking about the day, like a year ago today, we were all waiting to hear from Katie's proffers. And of course, we didn't hear until recently about get a release of those proffers. But remember a year ago how we were feeling about this whole thing? It's crazy. In October 2023, trial for Charles Adelson commenced. On November 6, 2023, Charles Adelson was found guilty on all charges. He is set to be sentenced in November 2023. In Adelson's trial, Magbanua testified that Adelson told her that his mother, Donna Sue Adelson, had just departed his residence at the time of Magbanua arrived on the night of the homicide. Magbanua said the money she received appeared to have been washed. Jail calls after Charles Adelson's guilty verdict include multiple calls in which Donna Sue Adelson is telling Charles Adelson that she is getting things in order, creating trusts, and making sure her grandchildren are taken care of. Donna discusses a plan for a suicide, but also discusses plans to flee to a non-extradition country. Donna Sue Adelson has considerable financial resources to accomplish this. On November 7th, 2023, Donna and Harvey Adelson booked flights to Vietnam with a stop in Dubai. The flight EK0214 departs Miami, Florida on November 13th, 2023 at 8:10 p.m. to Dubai. Flight EK0392 departs Dubai on November 15th at 9:35 a.m. and lands in Saigon at 7:35 p.m. And this, of course, is signed. It says the proceeding is true to the best of my knowledge or belief. Signature, I think it's Jack Campbell. Office of the State Attorney, notarized, sworn and subscribed to me before this day of 13th of November, not before, this 13th day of November 2023. This is the notary's signature, type of identification, Okay. And this cause coming before me as first appearance magistrate. Okay, so Judge Everett is the first appearance magistrate, and having reviewed the preceding affidavit, this court finds probable cause is sufficient, and that is signed by Judge Stephen S. Everett.